I should have sat on the toilet for a little longer before you guys came.
Do you need to go back?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
No, he just likes being
little
there for
turtle
whatever
head right
reason.
now. Ain't big turtle head.
No
yet.
turtle heads. I don't get turtle heads.
You don't get the turtle head?
No.
You get the prairie dog?
No.
I gotta go now.
I gotta go now.
There is no wait.
There is no waiting. No. It's more like a rabbit shooting out of its hole.
Oh. You. Gross.
Anyway, we are the Bonsai Movie Crew.
Hello.
Oh, I didn't even realize that we started recording.
Probably
That's
been
funny.
recording since I said the toilet thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
We started out with toilets.
Yeah.
Coming out of the gate strong, you know. Don't forget to check out our social stuff. YouTube, X. What all do we have? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Everything.
All
Pretty
that
much
shit.
everything.
Yeah, everything.
Don't
Rumble.
We don't. Let us know what we don't have.
No, don't let us know because I don't want to do anymore.
I don't want
I
to
say Karen don't want to do it anymore. That's what I meant to say. Karen's like, "Fuck you." They come out with another social media. I quit.
I got like 5 I'm working on. Five TikToks I'm working on. I don't got it in me right now.
I
I'm
don't
working
blame
on
you,
it.
dude. I don't blame you. God, you guys are.
They're starting.
You know,
They started.
audiences are very needy. They're very needy. Why can't you just be like, "Yeah, I like the show. That's all I need. I don't need extra."
Because
TikToks are like commercials.
Yeah, we like.
It's like advertisement.
True, I guess.
Oh my god.
The worst part is cutting them down. Like taking
Yeah,
them.
I know it's ridiculous.
That's the worst part.
Anyway, don't forget about that, and let's get into our creator profile. Who wants to do it this week?
I can do it this week.
I can do it if you want me to.
Oh.
I think we should let Karen do it this week.
Oh, okay.
Every time you're like, "How do you say this word?"
You don't even know how to say the word either half the time.
I know all the words. Okay.
No, Karen knows all the words, okay?
I know some.
You know all of them.
I don't know all. There was that one that I had to look up that had to do with clothes. Remember that? I don't remember what it was. Though.
She's not
What it
all
was
about
either.
clothes.
Yeah, it was a clothing word. None of us knew what it was.
Was it Gucci?
No, it started with an F. I think it was like fuckwad. I don't
Farfignugan.
remember.
A fertilizer.
Farkernugger.
General Farquad. I don't know.
All right. Here you go. Anybody want to guess who it is?
Ed O'Neill.
Your mom.
Did you see
I
it?
was really hoping it was Ed O'Neill because I almost know nothing about him personally.
Okay. Yeah, it's Ed O'Neill.
Good. I was really hoping for that, actually.
I thought it was a toss up between him and Ethan Embry. I was like, more people know Ed O'Neill. Like,
I was
he's
just
been
thinking
acting
about that
way
when I was
longer.
watching the movie. I'm like, I know a lot of stuff he's done, but almost nothing about him as a person.
yeah. Yeah, I know. Like, he didn't do a lot back in the day. Like, he did a couple of movies, but more than anything, he was never like a leading man movie. Like, this is the only movie I know of him like being a lead in.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, though, like, he was sitcoms. Like, he was in Married with Children, and now he's in Modern Family.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know of him. Like, I know he did like guest appearances and shit like that, like in like Wayne's World and shit like
he was
that.
in the Bone Collector.
He was in the
cop,
Bone Collector, yeah.
but that was kind of a bit role. But yeah, he was never
Yeah.
like a leading. Yeah.
He's that kind of guy too that could play comedic or serious.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he had that
Definitely.
face for that too. So
he's good at it.
yeah.
In my opinion. Who is Ed O'Neill? Ed O'Neill turned to acting after failing to fulfill his pro football dreams. Following early stage roles, he rose to fame as Al Bundy on the sitcom Married with Children, which aired for 11 seasons. O'Neill went on to star in a remake of Dragnet and land a recurring role on The West Wing before enjoying more sustained sitcom success as the patriarch on Modern Family. Early life and football. Ed O'Neill... Man, this thing just went crazy. Hold on. Ed O'Neill was born on...
It's an Apple device. You guys should know all about that
Well,
shit.
I hit something and it like...
Freaked out.
Yeah. Ed O'Neill was born on April 12th.
It was like almost had an orgasm. Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it when you touch me there.
Yeah, apparently. Ed O'Neill was born on April 12th, 1946 in Youngstown, Ohio. Oh, he's from Ohio? That's cool. The eldest of 5 children of working-class Irish Catholic parents, Ruth Ann Quinlan and Edward O'Neill Sr. To support the family, O'Neill's father hauled goods across country as a truck driver and also held a job as a steel worker. O'Neill's mother was a local social worker. Small in stature as a child, O'Neill grew to 6 foot 1 inch as a teenager and became an accomplished athlete at Ursuline High School. He particularly excelled at football and landed a college scholarship to Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, based on his athletic abilities.
In Athens? The fuck?
It's Ohio University, not Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At OU, O'Neill studied history and showed an interest in the school's theater group, though he spent more time on sports and partying than he did on his studies. Frustrations with his coach didn't help matters, and by his sophomore year, O'Neill had left OU. He headed back to his hometown.
They won't let me party anymore.
He headed back to his hometown to attend Youngstown State University. I can't freaking talk today. Playing football as a defensive lineman, studying drama, and continuing his pursuit of a history degree. As graduation approached, O'Neill had hopes of becoming a professional linebacker and then NFL. After receiving his bachelor's degree in 1969, O'Neill managed to land a tryout with the NFL's Pittsburgh Steelers, but was cut during training camp. Crestfallen, O'Neill tried a series of odd jobs, including working at a hotel and a steel mill. Eventually, he turned back to his alma mater, Ursuline High School, to substitute teach social studies classes. It was during this time that he decided he wanted to try his hand at acting. Early career as a stage actor. By 1972, O'Neill's acting ambitions were also looking pretty hopeless. He auditioned over and over for Youngstown theater productions but rarely landed a speaking role. He headed to New York in 1977, supporting himself with $1,700 in his savings account, the money he got from selling his car, and his job as a busboy. When he wasn't working, he studied at New York's prestigious Circle in the Square Theater School. O'Neill also frequented the Lincoln Center Library to listen to recordings of John Barrymore and Robert Shaw and check out books on acting. The work paid off in 1979 when he landed a role as the lead understudy in the Broadway play Knockout. When the star walked off the production later that year, O'Neill was finally given the chance to shine on stage. The show earned him good reviews and kickstarted his career in the industry. Movies and TV shows. Cruising and the Dogs of War. O'Neill lived in Manhattan for the next 10 years, working in regional theater and appearing in national commercial campaigns. In 1980, the stage actor was chosen for a co-starring role in the Al Pacino vehicle Cruising, as well as a supporting role in The Dogs of War. These roles gave O'Neill Hollywood exposure, helping him to appear in a succession of guest roles on TV series such as Miami Vice and Spencer for Hire. O'Neill also serviced in a series of failed pilots during this time, including a show with Valerie Harper called Feral for the People? Peeper. And a starring role in a TV spinoff of the popular 1971 film The French Connection called Popeye Doyle. But it was his performance as Lenny in a Hartford, Connecticut production of the play of Mice and Men that would land the actor his biggest role to date, Married with Children. An executive for Fox who attended one of the Mice and Men shows asked O'Neill to try out for a role on a new sitcom at the network. The show, called Married with Children, would focus on the lives of a blue-collar, dysfunctional family living in Chicago. O'Neill auditioned for Al Bundy, the working-class father who spends his off hours drinking beer, watching TV, and reliving his glory days as a high school football hero.
He was every American dad. He was like everybody's American dad.
Except he hated sex.
No, he hated sex with his
With
wife.
Yeah, with his wife. That's true.
He liked thinking about sex with other women.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he didn't like sex with his own wife.
That. But that's really weird because Katie Sagal's a knockout.
Yeah, but like she was like a nymph, dude. She was always wanting
that's
it.
That's true.
He's probably just like, again? He was always like, again,
true.
babe?
Again? Didn't we just do it last month?
We just did it last week.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah. So
Or she always wanted something afterwards.
Yeah.
That could be it too.
Oh, Al.
O'Neill landed the role alongside Katie Sagal as wife Peggy, Christina Applegate as daughter Kelly, and David Faustino as son Bud, and moved to Los Angeles in 1987. That same year, Married with Children hit the airwaves.
He don't do much,
do
really.
much.
Yeah.
I don't see him in anything.
No. He did.
He comes like when they do like reunion stuff. I
Yeah.
see him when they do that. But
I think he was in a couple of roasts or something
Yeah.
and shit like that.
He shows up for their stuff, but I think that's all. Like he doesn't really care to be in the limelight. I think.
I don't even know if it's that or if he just nobody wants him. He's very short.
Yeah, he's like 5'3" or something.
Yeah, he's
like
very
really
short. Like the rest of them all had great careers.
It became an instant hit with viewers and launched O'Neill into thousands of American households each week. While O'Neill continued his successful run on Married, landing several Golden Globe nominations, he worked hard to differentiate himself from his do-nothing Al Bundy character through appearances in feature films. His turns in Dutch, Wayne's World, and Little Giants. I forgot about Little Giants.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in Little Giants. Yeah.
However, went
That's a good
almost,
movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
It's a good family movie too.
You know, I remember thinking, like, the whole time watching Little Giants, like, man, he's such a dick. He's such a dick. And then there's this one scene with him and Icebox, who is his niece, which I kind of forget as the movie goes on, right? Because he's such a dick. He's such a dick. And then there's this one scene where the two of them are sitting at this counter, and she looks at him and she goes, you know, Uncle, whatever his name is. And she says, do you think I'm pretty? And he says, no. I think you're beautiful. And it's like, oh, they do. He is, oh. You know what I mean?
He's not really an asshole. He's just
he's not an asshole.
Yeah.
He just has that competition with him.
Right.
That's
But it's
really
just,
what
it's
it
one of
was.
those moments where you realize you're like, oh yeah, they are family. Like, you know, the whole movie, you're like, he's such a dick. He's
yeah.
such
You
a
don't
dick,
you don't
know?
think of them as family really. Like they don't really like. I know that's like two brothers feuding. Man,
Right.
another
But
Rick
then, and
Moranis
then you,
movie.
and then you realize you're like, oh, my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful moment. Anyway, however, went almost unrecognized by fans. He returned to the theater as well, appearing in a production of David Mamet's Lake Boat in 1994. The Bone Collector, Dragnet, and The West Wing. Married came to an end in 1997 after 11 seasons. As the show drew to a close, O'Neill began looking for new ways to stretch his acting abilities. He appeared in the big screen detective drama The Spanish Prisoner, as well as the thriller The Bone Collector. He then returned to TV in the drama The Big Apple, and a remake of the successful crime drama Dragnet, playing policemen in both shows. In 2004, O'Neill took a recurring role as a Pennsylvania's
He does have that cop look, like that detective
does.
look.
Yeah. Pennsylvania's incumbent governor on the political drama The West Wing to positive reviews. In the fall of 2009, O'Neill returned to the family comedy in Modern Family as Jay Pritchett, a man newly remarried to the much younger Gloria, played by Sofia Vergara. In addition to raising a young stepson, Pritchett also juggles relationships with his adult children and young grandchildren. The series became a massive hit, earning a slew of major awards across its 11-season run. O'Neill personally garnered 3 consecutive Emmy nominations for his performance as the aging alpha male of the diverse clan. O'Neill also found himself in demand as a voice actor during his time on Modern Family, lending his gravely vocals to major animated features like Wreck-It Ralph, Finding Dory, and Ralph Breaks the Internet. O'Neill is married to actress and dancer Catherine Rossoff. The couple have 2 children and currently reside in Los Angeles.
Did he voice Ralph in Wreck-It Ralph?
No. Ralph was what's his name? He was in a lot of Will Ferrell movies.
God damn it, I can't remember his name now.
Shake and Bake.
Yeah, Shake and Bake, baby.
His name.
Oh, excuse me. Hold on, I'm trying to find.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
I know his name.
Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Call Me Dragon.
Yeah. Did we just become best friends? Yup.
Yup.
Oh, that guy?
John C. Riley.
John
There you
C.
go.
That's it.
Yeah, John C.
So
Reilly.
who voiced...
Mr.
Who did he
Litwalk.
voice?
Mr. Litwalk. Oh, he was.
The bar guy?
No, wasn't he the therapy guy?
No, he was
Remember
the arcade owner.
Oh, there you go.
okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never would have put that together. Yeah. I'd probably have to hear it again to actually, or watch the movie. I've only
Yeah.
seen Wreck-It Ralph like once or twice.
I've only
I
seen it
love
once.
that movie. I've seen it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
All
I've only
right.
seen it once.
Favorite Ed O'Neill movie? You can go any range you want
Oh,
on this one,
man.
or show, whatever. Favorite property of his?
I'll say Little Giants now that I remembered.
Yeah.
I'm
What
gonna
about
go Little
you?
Giants.
I like Wreck-It Ralph. I didn't like that movie when I was a kid.
Wreck-It Ralph. Well, what do you like of his then?
TV series.
Me?
Yeah.
I love
No,
Wreck-It
it's
Ralph.
Married
Oh, Wreck-It Ralph.
Married with Children.
I didn't like
Married
Little
with
Giants
Children.
when
Just
I was
his,
a kid.
his attitude.
I don't know, man. Like,
I think Married with Children doesn't show his
My favorite-
acting.
I
his-
if you want
'cause
to
I
go
think-
with that, then yeah, it would be Little Giants.
I think
Or
yeah, I think that like
Yeah.
role, like him in a position, like in a role, definitely Married with Children. He cracked me up, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's like the Homer of that show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But like movie wise, definitely, yeah, probably Little Giants.
I guess it was one of those things like you saw him on Married with Children growing up,
Yeah.
and you didn't realize how good of an actor he was until you start seeing him in other stuff, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like it blows you away. How
But
good of an
I haven't
actor he
seen.
is.
I don't know when the last time was I saw The Bone Collector though either.
Mm.
So
I used to love that movie.
I think
so
I've only
watched the
seen it like
Oh, I
once.
watched the shit out of it for when
remember
it first
you
came
watched
out.
a lot.
Oh, I did. I watched that movie a lot.
I think
Son of a
for me
bitch.
it's definitely going to be like movie wise. It's going to be. I don't know, man. Wayne's World's a shit too, though.
Yeah, but he's not really.
Yeah, but
He's in it for like
yeah,
10 minutes total.
I like his character in that. Though,
Yeah,
too, for what
yeah.
little you see him. I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go a Little Giants. I love that movie. It's a
Yeah.
good movie.
Now that I remember that Little Giants,
Yeah.
I'm going with that for sure.
I like Dutch, but like
It's
not as
not
much as Little
bubbles.
Giants.
I think my favorite part in Little Giants is the whole like when Icebox and Devon Sawa sit there and they're talking about I can't
Fuck,
remember.
I
the whole
forgot
thing.
Devin Sawa is
Yeah,
in that.
you remember
Yeah.
when they're sitting there and she says something about like learning how to kiss or whatever, and he's like, "You can do that without learning how to kiss," and she's like, "Yeah, but you can't get a job."
I think my favorite part of the movie is when that little kid is the one with the snot bubbles, the nerdy kid. He's like, "You best."
It's
stop
so
talking
funny,
about my
man.
mama."
I got like Jackson goes to
He's all
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's got
Jackson
like all
goes
that
to
bubble wrap and
karate
shit.
goes to karate every Friday,
Yeah.
and there's a kid in there that acts and looks just like that kid.
Oh yeah.
Very hyperactive, and he like has the same facial expressions. Looks the same, dude. Like spitting image. Because I'm like, every time I see that kid, I'm like, that kid reminds me of someone.
Now you know.
Now I remember who it was that he reminded me of. He reminds me of that
You
kid.
should ask him who his dad is.
No, I know his parents are there every Friday,
Or
but
when he's standing in front of the mirror and he's like,
You should-
that's who this.
No.
I'm telling you, if you
Literally.
saw this kid, you'd be like, holy shit.
Arm
That
full
is
of
like
cans
his
of corn.
fucking.
yeah, he's got cans of corn.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you guys saw
I
this
need
kid,
to watch
you'd be like,
Little Giants.
you'd be like,
Okay.
that's the kid.
Well,
Yeah.
you need to talk to his mom and ask who his real dad is then.
No, because this has been years ago. Years ago.
Okay, well, ask him who his real
Unless that
grandpa
kid is his dad. Like that actor from that movie. Anyway,
That's what I just said.
oh, the actor from
Yeah.
that kid from years ago? Maybe. He'd probably be about the right age. Anyway, let's move on here. What have you guys been watching?
What the hell have you been watching?
Let's start with Eric.
So I mean, I watched that new Trolls movie with the kid. I took Allie and Theodore and Penny to go see it Friday, I think it was.
How's
Did you
doing
love
at
it?
Theater?
What do you rate it?
All right.
What do you rate it?
What do I rate it? I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
That was good.
I'll see you. What'd you rate the original one?
Have you been keeping our times?
Yeah. Oh, this one actually no. You threw me off because you asked me right off the get go, so I think it was like
Go with, like,
10 to
18.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with like 18 around there.
Okay.
Just put around 18.
Around
I'll
18.
I'll
Don't put-
17.
It is
Don't-
around
don't-
18.
18 question mark.
No, don't
Maybe.
put the A. Put like a little dash
Round.
thing and then put round. You get it? Are you just staring?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Round
yeah, I watched
18.
that. There's another movie I watched this weekend. I'm trying to think what it was called.
Sounds good.
Is it?
I mean, it really was. I just,
Oh, it must have been These Nuts then.
just
I watched that
drawing
one.
blank.
All right. Madison just swooped in there on that one, dude. It was really good. Yeah, it must have been these nuts.
How bad, guys?
I'm drawing a blank on it though.
Yeah, I bet you are now.
Now, definitely.
No, even before. That's why I was like looking through my phone trying to find continue to watch. You know, like that usually shows me all I've watched, but it's not on there. Shit.
We'll come back to you.
I watched a little bit of Scrubs.
So remember in the middle of somebody else's.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, it was this.
Some The Witcher. That's kind of all I've been into watching. I watched what's that movie with Zac Efron and the dude you really don't care for? Always just plays the same role every.
The Rock.
No,
Oh.
not The Rock. It's
He always plays the same character. That's who I go. That's my go-to.
Workaholics.
Oh,
Adam Devine.
Yeah, that movie.
Oh, you're talking about Mike and Dave need.
Yeah,
No,
watched
I
that.
like
Oh,
him.
no,
I like
he-
Adam Devine.
No, he plays different stuff.
Yeah, I like
that.
Adam Devine.
thought
No,
you said something.
I said that he gets typecast a lot.
Yeah, he gets typecast as that
Yeah.
kind of character, but yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I watched that movie.
But he does have the chops to play other things. He
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
gets
he does.
typecast a lot.
Yeah, it was Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
which is pretty fucking
Yeah,
funny.
pretty
Yeah, it's a
funny.
great movie. I think that's on HBO or something.
Yeah, I think so.
On Max or
Everything's
something?
on Max.
It's on Max.
Seems like it.
Everything.
As much as you got to pay for it, it ought to be. It's getting
Well, it's-
expensive. They're raising prices on
Yeah,
it
but
again.
you've got what 2 platforms on there now?
Yeah, they got Discovery. Woo!
Yeah, but Discovery had a lot of shit.
I don't remember what all they had.
Well, for me, they had a lot of shit.
Probably
Stuff
like
that I'm
fucking
into.
like a bunch of like reality shit.
Well, I like to watch the like that haunting show was on there that I
Reality.
watch. Well, it's like a
Esque.
reenactment.
Yeah, reenactment.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
Yeah, so that's all I watched.
All right, Karen, what'd you watch?
A haunting.
Is that it?
No. Men at Work. Before you mentioned it,
Oh,
that would be the second time I watched. Well, technically.
see, I was on Max and I was like scrolling through. It was like
Jeremiah had never seen it.
I was
Like,
on
we were
Dutch and I was
scrolling-
like I scrolled down to see what all was on there and I said, oh man, Men at Work. And then I saw what was the other one I suggested?
Oh, I don't remember. I put it in there though.
I can't remember. It was another comedy, and I was like, we need to add those.
We do have a lot.
Be
of
Kind,
horror movies
Rewind.
in there.
Yeah, Be Kind, Rewind. That's a good one.
But yeah, that was before you put that in there. But like we were scrolling through and he seen Men at Work and he was like, oh, we should watch this. And I was like, I mean, I've seen it. And he's like, I haven't. I'm like, well, then we should definitely watch it.
Definitely worth watching.
Yeah. So we watched that. Righteous Gemstones. I think we watched like 4 episodes all in. Like we watched it like when we had time.
The first season still.
Hmm. We just finished the one where he owned up to the fact that Gideon was covering for him. And I still think that Adam Devine's the only one that's got a conscience.
He's the only one that has some morals.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's the only one. Like
You'll
when-
come to find that actually the Satanist dude has more morals than
Well,
him.
no, no. I'm saying in the family.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the family, like,
Yeah.
because like I mean, the dad he runs the whole thing, so like he's got to be at least. I mean, I think that he's regretting a lot of what has happened, but
Well,
like
like the first season, you don't get it too much into John Goodman's character,
Right.
but you do in the second and third seasons.
yeah, I think that he's regretting like how his kids were raised and stuff like that, but like
He regrets that all through the series.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
but like Adam Devine, like in this last episode, like he was so upset about how everything went down compared to his brother and sister. Like he's the only one that's got any
Yeah.
heart at all. Predators, I didn't like it.
The one with Adrian Brody? I don't mind that movie. I thought it was
I
good.
didn't care for it. I thought
People hated it. I'm like, I liked it.
I didn't care for it. I thought it was cartoonish, and there was a lot of things that happened that didn't make sense.
The only thing I didn't like about it was Adrian Brody. I
Now-
thought he was a weird cast
Dude,
type.
Jeremiah made me laugh really, really hard because I said, "Why is he doing a Batman voice?" I have seen so many
Yeah.
things with Adrian Brody. Why is he doing a Batman
Yeah,
voice?
it's like he phoned that one in, dude,
yeah,
for real.
well, and he was talking like this all the time. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, why is he doing a Batman voice? And then like midway through the movie, after I had forgotten that I made the comment, like he's figuring shit out, right? Like fucking whatever. And he's like, yeah, Detective Comics over here trying to figure shit out that we figured out 20 minutes ago. And I was like, it's funny as shit because I made the Batman comment earlier.
Yeah, he definitely phoned that one. He was the worst part of that movie. He's the only reason why I feel like
well,
that
and
movie.
I didn't understand how like, okay, so he cuts the one predator down,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden he's gonna protect him.
Like
That doesn't make any-
Predator. Predator.
Yeah,
Oh.
it didn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
A lot of it just didn't make any sense. Now,
No.
I don't know. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't good. I guess.
I thought it was good in the aspect of like it's them trucking through it brought me back to the first Predator movie.
What I liked
The
about
only problem
it was
is some of the guys were miscast. I liked all the characters except for Adrian Brody.
what I liked about it was that air of mystery. You don't understand why, or
Yeah.
you never get any answers. But like, there was a lot that could have been done with that movie that would have made it good. It just wasn't. And
I
feel
guess
like
whenever
it-
they cast Adrian Brody, they're like, we need someone who looks like an everyman soldier. Like, not some big buff guy, just an everyman soldier. I'm like, yeah, but Adrian Brody just... He doesn't fit that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, and I had a problem with the girl character too because everybody, like the whole everybody there was bad in some way, right? They did something that brought them there. That was the whole reason that they were there. They were predators too. That was the whole plot of the thing. They never revealed why she was there. So I kept waiting for like her like roundabout, you know, like, oh, she was part of why they were there. Like, oh, she's part of like the corporation running it or some shit.
Well, that's not true because the Russian guy wasn't that bad either. I mean, he was a killer, yeah, but so was she. But he was actually a downright good dude.
Yeah, but everybody had like a story. Like, okay, so
Yeah.
this guy, you know, this Russian guy did this.
I thought the Russian dude was awesome, and so was the Yakuza guy.
He was.
Those guys
But
were
like, you know, they
fucking
all
sweet.
had a story to say.
And the
like,
and the
oh,
prison
I've-
guy played by fucking what's his face?
Oh, Walton Goggins.
Walton
yeah.
Goggins, dude. I love that guy.
Yeah.
That guy-
Well, you love him in anything, right? I mean, Walton
He's like-
Goggins is always
He's
great.
like, got nice titties, huh? Yeah, that's my sister.
yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah, yeah. But no, like I guess it's like everybody had a story and they told enough of their story to go, oh, I mean, even if it wasn't them necessarily being a bad person, they were in a bad situation that made them be a predator. And she never had that. She was just like, oh, yeah, I was in the jungle once. And you know what I mean?
That's
So
your
I kept
story.
I kept waiting for like them to reveal that she was part of the corporation that put them there.
Yeah.
And they never did. Like there was just no reveal for her being there, and I'm like, well, that's leaving me wanting too. Like there's nothing there.
I think it's a good movie. It's better than that newest one that they put out.
I haven't
movie
watched
was
that one yet.
Fucking terrible.
I watched Thanksgiving 1 and 3.
What about number 2?
2 was in it, sort of. They were amazing. And there's a drinking game in 3 if you want to play it. Like it's part of the actual movie.
Is it part of the movie?
You can play it with the drinking game. Like it's part of like the special, like you know, have that like audio commentary. There's a thing that says play with the drinking, or you know, play movie with the drinking game. We didn't because we hadn't seen it before, but there's a drinking game on it.
We get really fucked up.
Yeah, based on because we looked at the rules and then we watched the movie, and I'm like counting just the one, right, that I could remember, and I'm like, they're gonna end up in the fucking hospital. Like there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
And Species, that was the last thing I watched.
Species.
I'd never seen it before.
Really?
Mm-mm.
It's a good movie.
What
A
was
little
the
cheesy, but it's
challenge?
good.
It's cheesy. It's got bad CGI,
What-
but it's not a bad movie.
It's just probably got to drink whenever certain things happen or are said or something like that.
Like one of them was take a shot. What was the one I was counting? Fuck.
Like one for
Like one of them was like whenever there's a what the fuck moment, and I don't remember if that was a shot or a drink. Fuck, that's the one that's gonna put you in the hospital because like every 2 seconds there's a what the fuck moment.
It's like when you talk about Monty Python and Holy Grail, if you have to drink every time they say knee.
Oh god,
You'll be
yeah.
fucked
the-
up within the
that
10
one
minutes of it.
scene you're
The
gonna
one
be
scene
like
where,
just
we are the Knights of Knee.
just sit there with a straw and drink the whole time.
Is that it?
Yeah, that was it. That was
Madison, what'd you watch?
I didn't watch a lot, I'm not gonna lie. I did watch that new Matt Rife special thing for Netflix. I don't know if it's special or not. It's
Yeah,
a
it's special.
stand-up.
Yeah, it was special.
I did watch that last night, and then all week I've been watching Supernatural. I'm on season 3 now, so
Good on you.
thank you. I'm determined to make it through a season each week.
Oh, you get wore down real fast. Don't you worry.
Oh, I
You
got
think
wore
you can
down-
truck right through
no,
it
no,
all.
No, I got wore down in the first season after like 12 episodes.
Yeah, you get
I was
20.
always
20
always
some
fine when I
episodes
was
in.
watching it, like when I was into it. But then it
Mhm.
was like when the next season came out, it was like I'll
It
get
gets
there.
really
I'll
dull
get
though.
there.
Like the show just gets really overbearing. I don't know. I don't want to get into it because yeah, like I like the show. I like the first like, especially
I
the
like
first
the
5
monster-
seasons.
I like the monster of the
The
week.
first 5 seasons were amazing, but after that, it's just kind of like, all right, we're getting into all this other shit. Anyway, I watched a bunch of weird crap. I did watch the new Matt Rife special. I did enjoy it, and I liked what he said about a lot of things, especially towards the end. Pretty much, he's very anti-social media, even though that's what made him famous. But he's very
I think
anti.
he's anti-social media about the things that social media does to people.
Right. He hates it because of the negativity and things like that, and I get it. And I liked what he said at the end of the special. If you guys want to watch it, it's a good special.
I plan on it. Yeah, I really like.
I think it was
Matt
one of
Rife.
those things where like everybody thought he was just a guy that would only interact with crowds. Well, in this special, he doesn't interact with the crowd at all because he can't. He's in a big ass
Mhm.
I know,
auditorium.
I was
and-
waiting for him to like.
yeah, that's
He
not.
always,
Lie to
that's
the
one of the
people that
things
were
he does. He
screaming, "I
always
love you."
interacts with the crowd
yeah.
somehow.
So
but yeah.
he, in this case, he didn't do any of that. He actually had a routine.
Mhm.
It was really good. I was pretty surprised. He's still not as good as Burt Kreischer, or Bill Burr.
Well, and he's
or-
also pretty new.
Yeah, he's still wet
Yeah.
behind the
he's
ears. Yeah,
learning.
but yeah, I really like him.
Did you watch that cop show he had? It's like, well, it's
No, I know what you're talking about.
it's
though.
pretty funny.
Yeah,
And you can watch it in like
he's got a movie out too with Jamie Kennedy where he's a
Does he?
vampire.
you can watch it in like an hour. The whole
Oh.
the whole thing, because I think they're only like 15 or 20-minute episodes.
Yeah.
It's funny as shit.
But I watched that. I watched
It's
it.
on Amazon, and it's called Burb Patrol.
Bird Patrol.
Burb. It's like
Burb.
suburb.
BURB.
Oh.
Like
okay.
suburb. Yeah.
So they're neighborhood watches.
Yeah,
basically.
baby. Yeah, they're like a glorified neighborhood watch. Yes.
Okay.
And it's funny as
Also
They got
watched.
badges.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
badges.
Also, I watched an episode of The Walking Dead because I was trying to kill an hour, and it was like episode 2 of season 10. I want to say it was.
It's kind of random.
Well,
You
I
don't
had
watch-
already seen up to
Oh,
that
okay.
far. That's just where I had left off.
I was gonna say, like, why
And,
didn't you watch
yeah.
episode 1?
And it was a very boring. It had nothing to do with anybody except for the Whisperers. So it was just like Alpha and Beta, and like the Whisperers stuff. And I'm like, and you didn't see any of the main characters other than them in this episode.
I don't know anything about.
And I'm
that.
like, ugh, how boring.
I know back in the earlier episodes, I did skip an episode because I didn't want to watch it. The episode all about Morgan. I didn't want to watch it. I just skipped it.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't miss anything.
No. And then I watched. I started watching that Blue Eyed Samurai. On Netflix, I watched a couple episodes of that. That is not a show that you want to watch with your kids. There's some nudity in that. I was surprised by that. Because I didn't think there was gonna be anything like that. Yeah, I know it was gonna be violent, but I didn't think it was gonna be like there was gonna be nudity, which I thought was
It was
weird.
kind of weird. I wouldn't have.
Yeah,
based
I
on
felt
the
like
things
that
I've
was something they
seen-
definitely could have just left out of the show in general.
Well, based on the things I saw
Yeah.
for it. It
Yeah, it was just weird, especially like how they review, because they like, you're supposed to think that the Blue Eye Samurai is a dude, but you can tell he's not. It's a female, and they reveal at the end of the first episode she's completely full frontal naked, that she's a female, and I'm like, because she's like bathing in a bath or in a hot spring or something in this. But like, they're just full front. I'm like, you don't really need to do that to express that she's a female. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like that's sort of the opposite of what they should be doing with her as a character, I suppose.
I
If they're
mean-
trying to go for like her being like this badass or something.
She is a badass,
But
100%.
but what I'm saying though is that that's sort of like sexualizing her then.
No, because
Or was
like
it done
she's
tastefully
very.
or something?
I mean, yeah, kinda.
Okay.
It's not something that are like, oh, look at this. Like she's got
Okay.
big knock. You know,
I don't
it's
know. I
nothing
guess
like
the
that.
way you described
It's
it
just
at
like
first, it
she's
sounded
very
like
homely looking. You know what I mean? Like
it. Okay.
very small, petite. You know, no nothing like she ain't got big knockers,
Mosquito
nothing
bites.
crazy. Yeah, like she's very small, and I'm like, so that's kind of how they did it, and but it was still just weird. Like I don't need that, you know, I don't need that in this show. Like, just make it cool and violent. And I've only watched 2 episodes.
They could have just
and-
pulled off the helmet and let her do that.
well,
with
she
her
doesn't
hair
wear a helmet or
something.
nothing, but she's got like a, you know, but I mean, a lot of people in the old like feudal Japan and stuff, they all had long hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot
That's
of
how
men
Mulan
had
did
long
it.
hair. Right. That's how Mulan did it.
She
Uh,
just cut it short and then put it up.
Yeah, but like I just felt like it was kind of unnecessary. But it's a good show. I'll give it that. But just, and then we watched.
So is she like a Mulan? Like,
No, not necessarily. She's like on a path of revenge against, because she's like half American. She's half white and half Japanese, and that's
Got
why
it.
they call her the Blue Eye Samurai, because she has blue eyes. Because
Okay.
nobody in Japan had blue eyes unless you were mixed with something else.
Mhm.
So they pretty much see her as like a white demon, essentially,
Oh,
because they
okay.
hated white people. Like Japanese are like some of the most racist motherfuckers in general. But it's a good show. I like the sword stuff. I love fight scenes and stuff like that in anime, like especially with sword. Like I love old Japanese style stuff in anime. Like that's why like my favorite anime is Samurai Champloo. It was like the best anime ever. I fucking love it. That and the art style plus the hip hop. But I watched that, and then I watched what what else? Oh, we watched a new episode of Chucky, which I thought we were like 2 or 3 weeks behind. We only missed like one episode. I guess they took a week off. I don't know. We were like, what the
Damn.
fuck? I thought we had another episode. And she's like, yeah, it's been a couple weeks since we watched it. So we looked and like they must have taken a week off. And I'm like, the show's good when it's good, but when it's like not good, you're like, oh, how fucking dumb. Like right now, like in season 3, I don't know if you guys are gonna watch it at all.
I plan to because I don't know. I want to make up my own mind, but like I already have a bad taste when it comes to like Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky.
This is definitely a show that you can't take too seriously.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Like
I just
like Chucky is essentially like a fucking parody of himself. Full-heartedly, he's a parody of himself, and
I really hate that. I really like the first 3.
it's funny because like even now he's a parody of himself as a parody. Like he was a parody of himself in like Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky. In this show, he's a parody of that parody almost, and it's almost like you're like, what the like he jokes around too much. He doesn't take anything seriously. He's just like he's not scary or intimidating at all.
See, they did good with like Cult and
yeah, Cult and Curse were good, but like this is like I
thought
said,
that was going to be a return to form.
Nah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so when they
Don Mancini don't know what the fuck he's doing or what kind of tone he wants, because he did those 2 movies and then he come out with this show, and I'm like, where are you going?
Well, that's what I
this?
thought. Like when he came out with the show, I thought, okay, return to form, and
that's what I thought. So I was like, oh, we're gonna get back to the horror element of
Mhm.
this. No, it was all a big fucking comedy, and it got very woke in a lot of areas. He's starting to back off from that a little bit in the show too, though. Thank God, because it was getting really annoying. And but I just think that like, I think this needs to be the last season, and they need to be done, and they need to stop making Chucky movies, and they need to just put that whole franchise to bed, man. If you're gonna reboot it, then reboot it, do that, but don't just leave the original shit alone, because you're taking what I loved from the first 3 movies, and you're essentially like, I watch them movies now and I'm like, yeah, I can't take this seriously anymore because I know what it turns into.
Yeah.
Because Don Mancini is one of the original creators of Chucky.
Right.
So like, what do you say to that? You're like,
Right.
dude, you just took your own property and fucked it in the ass.
Right.
So I mean,
like you watch the original, and I have so much love for the original, and then
oh, the first one's amazing. It's one of
Yeah.
the best horror movies ever.
and like the soundtrack that goes
Yeah.
with it and everything, it's beautiful. But like you think about what it's turned into, and
Mhm.
it just ruins the whole mood.
It's a big fucking parody. And don't get me wrong, I mean, we like watching the show just because it's a fun show to watch. It's violent. There's a lot of cussing and gore. And
I think the problem is that you remember what Chucky used to be. If Chucky started out this way, that would be one thing. But he didn't. And we remember what it was. So it'd be like if, you start, Leprechaun was a joke from the beginning. So it was no big deal for him to go to space.
Yeah. Soon to be
But you
Chucky
take
in
a
space.
serious franchise that started out very good, and then you go and take him to space, like that's gonna annoy some people, and that's
Mhm.
where I'm at.
that's kind of where I'm at with this show.
I'm just waiting for Chucky to go to space. I'm waiting for Freddy to go to space.
Freddy's not going to space.
I'm just waiting.
I think they're done with the space shit, man. It'd be funny if
That
they
was
did some shit
that
like
was actually the
though.
premise
Just
for
throws Freddy
Thanksgiving
out
2.
fucking-
Oh, was it?
It was
to
like
space.
Turkey goes to space or whatever, and they showed like the first part of it, and it's actually hilarious.
Kind of like Machete. Whenever Machete goes to space, and I think it's in the second one he goes to space or
Yeah.
some shit.
The funniest thing was like the turkey was talking to the other guy, and he was like, "This is Captain Pilot," and it was a pie.
Captain Pilot.
It was a pie, and I was sitting there. I was like, "That's a stupid name," and I didn't catch that it was a pun.
Pilot.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, Captain, first name Pie, last name Let," and I was like,
Got me.
Yep,
you got me.
"There it is." Okay, so it works twice. It's a stupid name and
Yeah.
it's a pun. And yeah, so it was in space. The second one was in
Yeah.
space, which was hilarious because in the first one they led up to the second one was going to take place in space, but then the second one was destroyed because it was such a dumb movie, and then in the third one they're looking for the second one. So it's kind of funny because
You think it's in space?
well, yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm
they,
saying
they
like
filmed, they filmed it in space. That
well, I'm
was the
saying
whole
like it was
premise.
destroyed. Do you think it was in space?
No, they burned it
Oh,
on Earth because it was such a terrible movie. And then the third one is about the turkey trying to find it because he's pissed that they got rid of his movie.
right. Other than that, I also got Crystal to watch. I got Crystal to watch a one episode of True Blood, the first episode, because she's been watching the fucking Vampire Diaries. Like, dude, watch this.
I've never watched either.
Mm-hmm.
No, True Blood's awesome, but like, there's some nudity in it here and there, especially in the first episode. There's quite a bit of nudity, and she don't like that so much. But I'm like, it's not as they tame down on that shit as the show goes, and they always do that shit with the first episode or two to pull in crowds and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh look, we got boobs, but I think she likes it, but she's been watching the fuck out of Vampire Diaries. Like, thank you, Madison, for getting her into that dumb shit.
You're welcome.
That show is so fucking stupid.
Hey, I watched it whenever I was like 12. What do you want from me?
She's like, I can't wait for her to get through it so I can stop seeing it.
I've never watched any of them.
I'm so over it. Like, the little bit that I do see, I know the main character, the girl. I want to punch that bitch in the face.
I wanted to do that.
I
throughout
do
the whole
not
show.
like her. Like, the little bit that I see of her, I'm like, she is whiny. It seems like she's the cause of most problems.
She is.
I'm just like, you bitch, just end that hoe and everybody go on about their lives.
Who is she?
Her name's Elena. She Oh, you like her actor?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't hate her
Nina
actor. I just
Dobrev.
hate, yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's all I watched. I don't know if I watched anything else. I can't remember if I did. If I did, I think I watched a movie somewhere in there. I can't remember that either. I don't think I
I'm
did.
in that same boat. I know I've watched one.
Yeah, I
We'll
might
be in the middle
have.
of talking about the movie, and then both of you will be like, "Eureka!"
I don't know if I will or not.
No, I don't think so because I don't think I did watch. Maybe I didn't watch a movie. I thought maybe I checked out another show. I don't know. We've still been watching a lot of Impractical Jokers though. Anyway, that's all I watched.
And Hitman's Bodyguard, I watched that too, but that wasn't the movie I was trying to think of.
Well, I keep track of this shit. I mean, yeah, watch what you want to watch.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them.
Oh, sure. Enjoy.
Anyway, let's move on here. I think we spent enough time on that shit. Let's get into our movie.
Let's talk about the movie.
What did we watch this week, Karen?
Dutch.
Dutch. I think I'm gonna read it this time. You got a
You
plot
guys are-
synopsis?
You guys won't let me read anything.
To
Jeez.
get to know his girlfriend's son, a man volunteers to pick him up from a prep school, only to learn that her son's not the nicest kid. That's an understatement.
Mhm.
1 hour and 47 minutes, PG-13. Ed O'Neill as Dutch Julie. Ethan Embry as Doyle Standish. Jo Beth Williams as Natalie Standish.
Did you say Natalie?
Natalie. Christopher McDonald as Reed Standish. That's it.
All right. What did you watch? Would you recommend, Eric?
Oh, definitely. Yes and yes. I've watched it when I was little and watch it again. It's a good movie to show your kids.
Okay. Madison?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun family romp.
I'm going to say yes and yes because it's a good Thanksgiving movie.
It's a good Thanksgiving movie. It's a good movie to to
Recommend
watch with your kids.
around
Yeah, it's a
Thanksgiving.
good family movie. It's a good family romp, and it's fun to watch.
Somewhat. There's some tones in there that maybe some people might not be okay with their kids seeing.
That's true.
Like
But
the prostitute stuff.
yeah,
and,
but
you know.
I mean, I don't know. We grew
Tom-
up watching that shit. So
Yeah,
I mean,
we
me,
grew up
it's-
on that
Stop
shit,
being
so.
wusses. It'll be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I
To
To
turned
me,
out
it's
fine.
not that big of a deal, I guess. But I guess
Yeah,
some
it's not a
people
big deal
might-
to me either.
This generation can't handle the generation we had.
Oh, fuck no.
I turned out
no.
fine.
I'm just gonna say, like,
There's
the-
one
you know-
diamond in the rough.
this is the only thing I'm
Oh.
gonna say about this, and then I'll shut up.
Woo!
Parents keep sheltering their kids from stuff, and then these generations come out and they can't handle anything, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So maybe they should let their kids watch shit on TV so that when they get older, they can handle shit.
I agree. I think that exposure is
Preach.
something that it's all about conditioning. That's what life is about. It's about, and our job as parents is to condition our kids to be
ready.
ready for anything that comes
Mhm.
at them. If you,
You can't
shelter
put them
them,
in a safe space their
Yeah.
whole life and then throw them out into the world.
yeah,
and,
let them go out there and get dirty and scrape some elbows and see things they probably shouldn't see sometimes. At least that way, because I saw a lot of shit
and
growing
see
up.
it in a safe place where
Yeah.
you can explain it to them. You can be the one to explain it to them and not expect that they're going to learn it out in the world in an unsafe place.
Yeah,
Someone who would
but that's just our parenting advice.
Yeah.
That's you do whatever you want
That's
with
my
your
2
kids.
cents.
You
Yeah,
do whatever
they're
you
your
want with your-
kids. You can do whatever you want.
Exactly. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get into our plot here and get this bitch read. All right, Dutch Dooley, played by Ed O'Neill, attends a ritzy party with his girlfriend Natalie Standish, played by Jo Beth Williams. He stands out terribly among the upper class aristocrats, wearing a cheap suit and telling boorish anecdotes. Natalie's relaxed, less rigid personality also does not fit in with the rest of the patrons.
Some cold medicine.
Dutch also meets Natalie's snobbish, wealthy ex-husband, Reed, played by Christopher McDonald, who's awesome. Love Christopher
I eat
McDonald.
pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Yeah, I
That's
eat
why
pieces of
I always think of that when I see
It's
him.
all, yeah. I said that to her when we were like, I was like, oh, it's Billy from Billy Madison. She's like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat
Scooter.
shit for breakfast. Yeah,
Was it
Scooter,
Scooter?
Scooter McGavin. Yeah. Yep.
From Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore, not Billy Madison.
I was gonna say
Ew,
Billy
you eat pieces
Madison.
of
What is
shit?
that?
You eat pieces of shit. Who tells Natalie that he will have to break his Thanksgiving plans with their son Doyle, played by Ethan Embry, for an unexpected business trip to London. I want to point this out before we even get into this. So his name is Doyle, because I was confused by this, because every once in a while they'd say Doyle, but then they would say Dale and shit like that.
I don't think that.
That was Ed O'Neill's way of like not trying to
Bond
let him
or
win.
Yeah, he says a different name almost every time he.
I was wondering if it was
addresses
just
him.
him doing that.
Yeah,
or...
no,
just
because
on
he says Dale. He says
Daryl.
Daryl.
I know he says Daryl once.
Yeah, he said it just every time he addresses that kid, he says a different name. It always
Yeah.
starts with a D, but he addresses him
Derek.
in a
He
different
doesn't
Derek.
want the kid thinking that the kid's
Yeah.
the important one.
Drake.
And all that. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with the way that he does some things in this movie, but some of the shit I'm like, damn, dude, that's fucked up.
The only thing that I didn't understand, but I think I get it, is the fact that whenever there was kind of like any kind of physical thing, like he would always end up on his ass. And it was like, that's not fair. That kid deserves to get his ass handed to him, like in every single way.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I guess one, they can't really show him kicking the shit out of a kid, literally.
Yeah, he
Back then
can't.
they
He can't
could.
call it a family movie. He's over here beating the fuck out of some
Yeah.
kid.
And two, I guess it's that physical comedy thing that was really big back then
Yeah.
too. You get that out of it too. So
Especially when he got knocked down, his ass is up in the air.
yeah. But it's just kind of like, I wish that they hadn't given that kid that power in
No.
those scenes. Like I wish
Yeah.
that they maybe had figured
Because
out
they
a
do
different way.
make it seem like he's running the show the entire movie almost.
Oh yeah.
in certain scenes, especially those
Yeah.
scenes.
Yeah.
Like I just wish that
Like
they'd
especially that
figure
first,
out...
he beats the fuck out of him.
Yeah, like I wish they'd figured some way to like have those scenes maybe, but like don't give him the upper hand.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Okay.
wonder if another thing that makes me think of the kid's name was Doyle. Billy Madison's arch enemy in like every
O'Doyle.
Yeah, O'Doyle. Adam Sandler's
O'Doyle
arch enemy.
rules.
O'Doyle rules.
I wonder
That was-
how he
what I
talked
thought.
Natalie into that though. She doesn't seem like somebody that would name her son Doyle.
Right.
Well,
It's a
of
very
course, he
dopey
didn't have to
name,
talk
you
her
know.
into anything. He fucking ran her.
Well, yeah, but
That's true.
Everything that
Yeah.
she did had to be under his thumb.
that's true.
That was their marriage.
That's true.
That was just how that guy was. He was a piece
Yeah.
of shit.
He also
He
threatens
eats pieces of
to
shit. Yes, he
strip
does.
Natalie's custody of Doyle if she gives Reed a hard time. Dutch overhears the conversation and threatens Reed with bodily harm should he hurt Natalie. Natalie calls Doyle at his private school in Georgia to invest and invites him home for Thanksgiving, but Doyle rudely refuses the offer and expresses his disdain for his mother, solely blaming her for the divorce. Despite Despite this, Dutch sees an opportunity to get to know Doyle and further his relationship with Natalie, so he offers to go to Georgia and bring Doyle back to Chicago for the holidays. Upon arriving in Georgia, Dutch finds Doyle to be much like his father, snobbish, selfish, and elitist. He welcomes Dutch by throwing a book at his face and shooting him in the groin with a BB gun, to which Dutch promises revenge. Dutch immediately hogties Doyle to a hockey stick and carries him to the
Yeah,
car
it was.
to start the drive back home.
I'm not sure if that underwear is clean or not, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure that underwear I stuffed in your mouth was clean or not.
but that right there shows that he had the upper hand on the kid regardless.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is he just like the kid gets away with it because he knows he can't put his hands on the kid.
Yeah.
You know, there
Yeah.
is some like elements of grounding here. Like there is a bit of groundedness to the movie and things. You know, like,
Besides that kid smashing his car.
yeah, you like
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess, and probably another reason, and this is one of the things I did like about the movie, is that in most of these movies, you always see, like, the Ed O'Neill character is always getting his way. Like, he's always right. He's always getting his point across. He's always getting the win. And in this one, you don't see that. He's human. He has faults. He
yeah,
gets hurt. He gets...
like
so-
losing his wallet and
yeah,
all that.
Yeah, he doesn't always have the best judgment, or he's trying to do the right thing, but in the midst of it, something goes wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
So it makes it very real in that sense. So I do kind of like that about the movie. I
Yeah.
just didn't like certain scenes because I felt like it gave Doyle the upper hand, and I really just hated that kid in the beginning.
Yeah. The fact that he's like that physical with somebody though is it's very odd to me that a kid could be that physical, especially with an adult. You know what I mean?
Right off the rip.
Like especially right off the rip. Like especially knowing who he is. Like
Well, elitist with that elitist attitude, he feels like he has the right.
yeah.
I mean,
Later, Dutch throws Doyle out of the car. Or wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, sorry. The trip entails several mishaps. A fireworks show Dutch gives Doyle in an attempt to make Doyle warm up to him goes awry when one lit rocket lands in the bag and sets off all the fireworks at once, which is fucking hilarious because I loved it whenever he put on the coat. It's got a hole in the back. It's just feathers everywhere.
He gets in the car and it's like,
and he like sitting there like fun, right? Yeah. Later, Dutch throws Doyle out of the car and makes him walk to the next motel by himself. Doyle eventually gets even by parking Dutch's car in the path of an oncoming semi-truck, which totals the car and endangers the truck driver.
He makes him think he's in the car, though.
Yeah,
He makes
that
him think
is fucked up,
that
man.
kid
is demented.
deserved
to
every
be in that
beating
car.
in the world
Yes.
for that.
Ass beating.
Like not just because of him.
There's a difference between teaching somebody a fucking lesson by walking to the next, which was still pretty cruel to do to a kid.
Yeah, and he said that the next hotel is like 50 miles away. It couldn't have been. That would have been.
Yeah,
like
I
a
think he was just
2-day walk.
exaggerating. But either way, like, how did he know how did the kid know where to go? Was
I guess it was just a
He
straight
said right down the
shot.
road,
Yeah,
yeah.
It
straight
was a
shot.
shot, but still, that's like a 2-day walk for somebody who's very fit
yeah,
to
yeah.
go 15 miles. So
Yeah.
like he got the line wrong, he was
Not
fucking
really.
with him, or he said 15.
I think he
You
said
know what I mean?
50, but I think it was just like he was. I mean, he
Or
probably
he was
knew
just
where it
trying to
was.
scare him.
He's probably just scaring him and he just over exaggerated the mileage.
Yeah.
Like the next month's 50 miles away. You know what I mean? Even though it's
God,
probably
he
like
would
2
have to
miles
be,
down
'cause,
the
like
road.
when he said 50, I'm like,
Yeah,
no
it's
way.
probably like 2 or 3 miles down the
Yeah,
road.
it's
It
Yeah.
had to
about
be
2
because like
miles.
holy shit, 50 miles. That's like 2 days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I? Okay. They also hitch a ride with 2 prostitutes, E.G. Daly and Ari Myers. Yeah, who steal their luggage
Anybody know
and
who
leave
E.G.
them.
Daly is?
Yeah, she does a bunch of voice acting.
Tommy Pickles.
Yeah, Tommy Pickles. She did. She's done all kinds of stuff. I looked up.
She
some
was in
of
a
her
lot of
shit.
80s stuff too, though.
She was
like,
also
Better
in
Off Dead
Rob
and-
Zombie's she's been in some Rob Zombie movies. She was in Devil's Rejects. She was a prostitute in that actually. It's weird. Huh. Anyway, She's been in a few movies though too.
She was in a lot of stuff in the 80s. She was in the first Pee Wee movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was in Better Off Dead. She was in Summer School. She was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. You steal their luggage and leave them stranded with no money. Doyle calls his father, whom he discovers has lied about his trip to London. He instead spent the holidays with a girlfriend. Stunned by his father's betrayal and wounded by Dutch's accusation that he hates his mother, Doyle begins to regret his callous attitude. Dutch initially gives up and wants to call Natalie for assistance, but Doyle refuses and insists on getting home on their own. Which makes me wonder if that was also kind of part of his plan. You know, like,
I don't think so.
You don't
at
think?
that point he really was done.
Scroll.
Yeah.
They sneak a ride on the back of a semi-truck and are assaulted by security guards at a cargo storage station, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like whenever he
That I wrote that down. My
he beats the fuck out. For one, I was like, okay, so like Doyle shouldn't be, the protector here. You think it would
That's what I'm
be
saying,
Ed O'Neill,
like-
but like he beats the piss out of those guys and then pulls a gun on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, those are the parts that kind of make me like. I mean, it was a fun. That's like literally like my favorite scene, but like it's still like he should never have the upper hand. Like I guess
think
like
you'd want to see Ed O'Neill. Get the upper
yeah,
hand on
like
the guards
that
at
kid
point.
should just never have the upper hand just because of the way he was in the beginning. But
I think that all of this was heavily planned, but like a lot of it was planned, but might not have. Some of it was also not planned. But like I think it was all due in part on Ed O'Neill's part because Doyle, by the end of it, the only one that has any kind of like character development is Doyle.
yeah, and
Like
by
Ed
design,
O'Neill's
yeah.
character is still the same. He's
Mhm.
still the same
For sure.
shitty. Not I wouldn't say shitty, but like like
He's a working class guy.
yeah, he's a working class guy. He's just got like he's a hard ass,
Mhm.
and he's like that even at the end of the movie. He doesn't change at all.
Mhm.
Like yeah,
Well, and really the only one that should have changed was Doyle.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
the
think
whole
that's what
point.
this comes down to. This is more of a dad kind of movie than it
Mhm.
is a kids kind of
Mhm.
movie. You know what I mean? Like dads
Yeah.
are like, yeah, you little motherfucker, like
I really did like that part though. Pete, don't listen to the voices.
Yeah.
I just killed
That was a
somebody.
good part.
There's a
That was
hotel
like-
you can burn. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? Now I gotta kill your families too.
Now I'm gonna kill your families too.
Oh man.
The voices.
Doyle feigns
You don't have to
feigns
shoot. You don't have to shoot.
insanity and pretends that voices in his head are telling him to kill the guards. They make the guards think his BB gun is a bullet-loaded firearm, which frightens the guards enough to allow them to escape. The two enter a restaurant where they meet a married couple who takes them to a homeless shelter in Hammond, Indiana, for the night. At the shelter, Doyle grows fond of a young girl and her family. While getting to know them, he finally realizes that he has been neglecting his mother and indeed wants to be with her for the holidays. The next day, I think that the whole part with that's a very necessary. Like you're gonna find out at the end of this movie. Like at the end of this, I think this movie's too long. For one, I think it's too long.
Mhm.
But that is one part that I would cut nothing out of. Like that
No.
whole everything to do with that little girl and that family was very necessary for the development of his character. So I think that said a lot for him.
For sure, yeah.
But,
you
like-
see how spoiled he was.
Yeah,
Truly
exactly. And how he had come so far in just a couple of days with Ed O'Neill's character. Well, Dutch, I guess. I keep calling him Ed O'Neill, but he's Dutch, obviously. To just, kind of knock him down a few pegs and bring him to where he is.
So, what parts do you think should have been cut out?
I think some of this stuff is a little drawn out. Some of the stuff is really drug out. There's some things that they could cut out that they just don't need to extend so much, I guess. Like they could trim like just seconds off of each, like all these different scenes where there's like nothing really going on, a lot of silence. They need to add. I don't think there's enough comedy in the movie for what it is. I know that it wants to have some serious tones, which is fine. I mean, they did that with Scrooged. It was comedy all the way through, but there were still a few serious scenes that made you tear up and I would say even learn a little something from it. Like the part with like in Scrooge, whenever he finds out, oh man, I'm dead. Like the whole part was death.
Yeah.
Like some of it was comical, but for the most part, that entire scene was meant to be played up as a serious part of the movie because that was driving the point home.
Mm-hmm.
And in this movie, there are too many serious parts. There's not enough comedy for it to be a full blown comedy for me. You know what I mean? Like it's
I didn't feel the same way, but I get it.
Anyway,
I thought it was okay. I
what-
thought the pacing was okay,
Sorry.
but
I didn't know. I felt like it drug a little bit in some areas and like it just got boring or like in just some areas. And that's what really kind of brought it down for me. I'm just like, ugh, come on, let's move along. You know what I mean? Like they just kind of drug some shit out.
Yeah, I didn't notice it, but I mean, I guess I can see where.
Well, like
you're
the
coming
motel
from.
scene, too long. He kept going to the window and looking to see if he's coming. Going to the window looking to see if he's coming. I'm like, why? Why do we have to do all this? Like they could have cut easily 45 seconds out of it. Just say 45 seconds out of that one scene. 45 seconds to a minute out of that one scene. Just because he kept going, he did like 3 takes on him going to the window to look and see if he's coming. You don't need all that. Or a lot of the like extended stuff with the mom. Like they didn't need all that. Like I get that they're trying to drive home the like his relationship and how much he cares about her and that, but like some of the stuff just seems like some of it's just drawn out too much.
I think with the motel scene, I think that it was just showing that Dutch is still caring about the kid and wants to make sure he gets home.
Right.
You know,
I feel like
and,
parts
you
in
know,
the beginning too.
As apart from that, you know, he just drops him off and leaves him out in the wilderness, and if he just didn't, you know,
I get that, but there's also the
dad
scene in the
look
car with the prostitutes where he's back there talking to the one girl, and I get that they're trying to bring that point to light that, you know, maybe he's been a bit of a douche and this and that. He's kind of realizing some of his flaws, but they drug that out for way too long. It was way too long of a scene.
The point of that scene really wasn't that. I think the point of that scene was to show that he was at a middle ground point where
I get it.
He was starting to learn like some things, but he was still blaming his mother. Like he wasn't all the way
Yeah,
there
he was
yet.
getting there though. I get it.
But I think for me the only things that I feel like they probably could have cut is some of the scenes where you were seeing Doyle being a real prissy ass. Is okay, so you see the first scene where he's like cleaning the
like
keyboard,
in
and
his,
all that. So
yeah, in his school and stuff like that.
Some of
that's
good. Like some of that is
yeah.
good, but like every time you see him cleaning his silverware and like being okay, we get it.
Yeah,
but we
exactly.
don't need
That's
to
what I'm
see
saying.
It every single.
That's
time.
what I'm saying. Like they drag a lot of that stuff out, and they
because
drive
you see
that
it again
point.
in the homeless shelter.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I get it,
and everybody's just staring at him. And that scene went on for too long.
Yeah,
like make it like a quick little 10-second scene or something like that.
That would be the only
know what I mean?
time I really noticed.
That's what I'm
though.
saying. Those are the scenes where I'm like, they just drag it out and they make the movie. And this movie's only like an hour 48.
Yeah.
If they would have brought if they would have cut out some of that bullshit and brought not even, maybe even hour 40. Give me an hour 40. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
That's what this movie should have been. And I hate to like sound like
Be
I'm
that
griping,
nitpicky, but I get
but
what
like
you're saying.
but those
Like, if they-
scenes
like you
really
said-
drag out, man.
Like you said, seconds we're talking about here,
Yeah.
not full minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed it with the prissy, like him cleaning stuff thing. That kind of irked me after a while. It's like I get it, the kid's a priss.
yeah.
But like, I didn't notice it so much in the other scenes, but I get where you're going.
And also
with it.
at that point of his character development, especially in the homeless shelter, where he's cleaning his silverware and organizing everything, he wouldn't do that. Even if he is as prissy as he is, he's fucking dirty. He's had the same clothes on for a couple of days. He's
When's
not
the
gonna.
last time he ate.
But
Yeah, when's the last time he
there's
ate?
habits that you have a hard time breaking.
Maybe, but I doubt that's even a habit. That's
Well,
just something that he learned.
I think at
like,
that
I don't
point
know,
in
man.
time, if he's at that point, maybe he'd still be cleaning his silverware, but is he going to be like this?
Yeah, setting everything up
You
perfectly.
know what I mean? Like,
he's not
I
going
don't
to
know.
do
He
that.
might still clean his silverware and stuff just because that's
Especially
like
at
a
that
hygiene
point of
thing,
his
but-
character. Well, that at that point of his character development, he's come so far. He just got done riding the back of a semi, you know what I mean, and got into a fight with a couple of security guards. He's not going to be there like, oh, I need to be prim and proper in a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, he's getting to that point in his character, that he's starting to fully understand and realize that he's a prick.
Yeah.
He's not going to sit there and do that in front of these homeless people. You know, making himself look and Wayne's calling me.
Sorry.
And trying to like make himself look better than them. Yeah, that's just not. I don't see that. You know what I mean? That's one part that really bothered me. I get what they were trying to do there. What they were trying to do is show that he still feels that he's better than these homeless people.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't do that this far into the movie.
Well, I can see maybe where he might, like I said, clean the silverware, but I think that might have been the extent of what he would have done. Just because for him, I think that's more of like a hygiene thing. It's something that's kind of ingrained in him at that point, but I don't think he would have been, you know, like primping and putting everything in a place, and you know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, I think that would have been something that could have been trimmed down for sure.
I agree. That's the main thing that really bothered me, is I just feel like some of the stuff really drug out, and I felt like it was just, the movie was too long. You know, where I click. Okay, no.
You're good.
Anyway, let's continue. Where was I? The two enter a restaurant where they meet a married couple who takes them to the homeless shelter in Hammond, Indiana for the night. At the shelter, Doyle grows fond of a young girl and her family. While getting to know them, he realizes that he has been neglecting his mother, and indeed wants to be there for the holidays. The next day, the family drives Dutch and Doyle to Natalie's home where Reed is waiting. Doyle shares an emotional embrace with his mother and reveals to Reed that he knows the truth about his trip to London. Doyle decides to stay with his mother instead of going with Reed for Thanksgiving. And angry Reed gives Natalie only a few days to pack and leave the house that he owns. Dutch follows Reed outside, and as he departs and makes good on his promise to hurt Reed, putting a dent in his forehead and with his pinky ring. He then demands that Reed show more respect to Natalie and become a better father to Doyle, to which a dazed Reed agrees. The film ends with Natalie, Dutch, and Doyle at the dinner table about to begin the Thanksgiving feast. Before they commence, Dutch asks Doyle to retrieve Dutch's coat as it contains a very special gift for Natalie. As Doyle turns to walk away, Dutch pulls the BB gun Doyle originally shot him with and finally gets his revenge on Doyle by shooting him in the buttocks.
Yipe!
Yipe! The end.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times were had by all.
See, I as a dad, right?
That's
like,
a great starter of a sentence. As a dad.
As a dad.
As a father.
Yeah, as a father, you're like, you see things in movies sometimes that characters do, like in this case with Dutch. You're like, yeah, you know.
Little fucker deserved it.
Little fucker deserves that shit. Like, I'd have done that shit a long time ago. Shoot me with a fucking BB gun. You're lucky I didn't beat you with it. You know what I mean?
Well, and you know, Doyle was not 100% convinced that he wasn't going to shoot him at the very beginning either.
No.
Because he goes and, like, gets behind that chair ever so slightly. You know, like...
Yeah, he was like, he goes and sits behind that chair, like, and talks to him. He's like, oh, yeah, you won't shoot me. Like,
yeah, and it's like, well, you're standing behind a chair.
Like, he was like, I don't know, he's like, I need to call his bluff, but I don't want to, like...
Yeah, he's like, I can't be completely exposed here, so I'm going to go stand behind this big-ass chair.
He can't shoot me in the head.
Yeah. You won't do it. You won't shoot me in...
That's like cowering behind somebody saying, you won't do it.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's pretty much how I looked at that anyway.
That's funny shit.
What about
though.
whenever Doyle knocked over that trash can all over the place? Dude, if I was that janitor,
oh my god, dude! I would have threw that
up.
fucking broom or mop or whatever he had right at his ass.
Fuck that! I just grab the trash can and put it right over top of his head and roll it down and flat his stairs. Fuck that!
Or you take out his legs with the trash can. You ever seen that?
Just
throw it,
yeah.
like, hit his back of the legs,
or just throw it at him in general.
No, little fucker. But again, that's just another thing to show you, like, what kind of a person Doyle is.
Yeah, but that janitor just kind of looked at him like...
The janitor probably looked at him like, man, you're lucky I need to keep my job.
Mm-hmm. When Doyle... This was the one part, like, I literally, like, if I could just get a hold of this little motherfucker.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember... Oh, when he said, how could you tell I'm working class? Or whatever, and he said, you know, to your cheap shoes, to this, and then he said, to my mother's taste in men.
Oh,
Did she not marry your fucking dad?
I'm
who
saying
you
my
think is
mother's
the
taste in men.
best?
I was like, how many women or how many dudes has your mom dated? Like, as far as we're aware, Dutch is the only one aside from your dad.
Right, and like I'm just thinking, didn't she marry your dad?
Yeah.
Isn't that your mother's taste in men too?
Yeah, right.
You think
That was
your dad's
that
so
was one
amazing.
confusing thing that he said. It was like her taste in men is like just your dad, as far as we're aware. You know what I mean?
Like, dude, why do you love your dad so fucking much?
He's such a douche.
Because his dad gave him everything.
Because his
wanted.
dad's got money, and he knows that. Well, if I want to be rich, I got to be like my dad.
I don't.
You don't think that's
no, I
it?
don't
You think
think
he's just a
that's it.
son that looks up to his father?
Yeah,
Could be.
because if it was money, if it was simply the money, he
Well,
wouldn't
you
have
see-
had the turnaround that he had.
Well, you see him at the end how he talks to Doyle whenever he comes in the door, opens the door up, and like he's got this big smile on his face. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Because he plays that up, because he uses his son as a form of.
he's a pawn.
Yeah, he's a pawn.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get back at his wife, his ex-wife. Trying to get at her as best he can.
Mhm.
So
But that's what I'm saying is like I don't think it's money, because if it was money, then Doyle wouldn't have had to turn around.
it's all about control.
Yeah,
It's all about control.
yeah.
Men like him,
His
they don't.
father plays him, and Doyle just fell for the game.
Yeah, because his father's the type of
father, I
guy
mean-
that like he doesn't care about money as much as he cares about controlling people and things like that. That's really what that comes down to.
Mhm.
And he wants to be able to control Doyle's mom.
Yep.
And in order to do that is with Doyle.
Mhm.
And
Well,
he's
so
like,
what-
he's like, I give you money every month. You kept the house. I'll
Well,
let you see the kid.
The only thing that what Natalie says is Dutch said something to her about him having something she wanted or whatever. She said the only thing he has is or he only has one thing I want.
Yeah,
my
her
son.
son. Yeah.
And then you notice how at the end when he tells her to get out, she's not even fazed by it because she has the one thing.
The one thing that she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And that's understandable. I mean, some people have morals like that. Not all, but some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just like, to your mother's taste in men.
Yeah.
Like, dude, isn't your dad included in that? Just saying. Oh, and that like greasy spoon scene. Like, I like greasy spoons, like Waffle House and stuff.
Mhm.
But dude, that place was nasty. Like, there was not everything was like sticky, and like they showed the grill, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, there's nothing on that grill I want to
Yeah, like
eat.
when was your last checkup? Like health inspection?
Oh god, it was
'Cause-
nasty. Like usually, like I
That place
watch
was
things-
gross. He's like, even
Yeah,
he was
what
like,
won't make me
what won't make me
vomit?
throw up? And they're like, well,
Yeah,
Even they
had
weren't
to, They had
sure.
to look at the menu too. But I mean, like usually in scenes like that, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, Waffle House sounds good.
yeah,
You know, whatever.
yeah.
But I'm like watching that, and I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
about
he
to
like
throw up
he
my
like
dinner.
lets go of the menu, and he's like,
Yeah, and he's like,
they got
and
this
you
crap
can
on his
literally-
hand.
She's,
Yeah,
she's like trying to open it up too, and
and
it's
it's
all
like
sticky.
stuck together. And I'm like, ugh.
No, thank you.
They
Just-
needed a health inspection.
just adds flavor.
That's
Oh.
the flavor. Yeah.
Yuck.
I hope you guys don't throw up to that song.
Oh god, that's so gross.
It's like
Oh.
that movie Mordecai with Johnny Depp in it. Yeah, was that
Oh, I only saw bits and pieces of that movie. I hadn't seen the whole thing.
he's got that.
It's really not that great.
Is it?
No.
Oh shit, gag reflex. So anytime somebody like
Makes
vomits or makes that sound, he like his wife. I can't remember who his wife is, but
She's
every
played
time
by Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, anytime she kissed him when he had his mustache, she would like gag. So when
she gagged and then he'd gag. That's pretty funny, actually.
It's
Yeah, I think it was
fucking
Gwyneth
hilarious.
Paltrow. Yeah,
I love that movie. It's on Stars right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't care for it, but
I think it's fucking hilarious.
So the bus scene. I wonder if the reason that Dutch didn't have him and Doyle sitting together, either A, it's because there's like a full bus and they couldn't get seats together, but then that's just kind of poetic justice for him to be a dick to two people and then lose his shoes.
yeah, I
Or
like
did
that
Dutch
scene.
do it
That
on
was
purpose to like have him sit by?
I don't think he
random
did. I don't think he
strangers?
planned that.
No.
No, I think that was purely accident. You saw how packed that bus was.
Well, I wonder how much of it was planned and wasn't, because at the end, the reason I
Is
asked
that your phone? Turn it off. It just keeps buzzing.
No,
Well, here's my question: how did they get tickets for that bus when they had no money?
no, you remember he had money.
Sorry, I was on TikTok before I came down here.
Whoa.
Well then,
No, remember he had money. He told him he just didn't have very much, and that was before the prostitute stole his wallet.
No, that was after. The
Was it?
prostitute stole his money, stole the wallet before they got the bus ride.
No, they didn't.
No, yeah, I was gonna
You
say
sure?
No,
yeah.
that was after the bus ride. Yeah.
Because then they go out and do the hitchhiking thing, and
Yeah.
that's when they end up with the prostitutes.
They do the hitchhiking thing.
Yeah, they have the
'cause
bus
it was
ride.
right after the motel. He's standing there doing the
Yeah, and he
thing,
has no luck.
And then they get on the bus, and then they meet the prostitutes after the bus.
Yeah, I
That's
know
what I
they.
just
I know
said.
they meet the prostitute. Yeah, that's what she just said.
Oh wait, yeah.
I say, hold
I'm
on a
wrong.
minute.
He didn't
Now
listen.
you're making us sound wrong. Wait,
that's what I literally
Trying to
said.
gaslight
They were at the
you
hotel.
he is. He's
had no luck.
gaslighting us, Karen.
Yeah, I think so, dick.
Reverse psychology. Fuck off.
No, but
Like, yeah, that's what I said, guys.
Wait. No, the reason I ask like how much of it was planned and how much wasn't is because at the end when Dutch deals with Reed, he's a fucking pro. Like he walks out there and he owns the situation. He owns the whole thing. And Reed is one of those guys that is usually in that position.
But because Dutch knows how to handle men, he doesn't know how to handle children. I think that's what I gathered from that. Is
Yeah.
that
that is a
he
fair
doesn't
point.
know how to handle kids
That's
as
a
well
fair
as he
point,
can.
yeah.
Because he can't hit him in the forehead with.
Yeah, you
I
can't
mean,
hit a kid in the
it's
That's
forehead.
very
easier to
true. Yeah,
handle
that's-
Usually,
grown-up than
That's true.
usually Dutch's go-to is like bap right
Yeah,
with that
bop.
ring and just like daze
Okay,
their ass and
now-
like and now you're in my fucking realm and you're gonna listen to what I have to say.
That's fair. I didn't think about
Or
it
you
that
get
way.
another thump.
Yeah, he
Your
can't
choice.
thump that kid. You shoot him in the ass with
Just
a
wait till
BB
that
gun,
kid's
though.
old enough, though.
I also like
Yeah.
when the prostitute was like, I didn't want to say prostitute in front of the boy, but she did.
You said call
And she
girl.
said it-
I mean, we all
Yeah,
know what
she was
call
like, well,
girl
she
is.
was like, we're call girls, and then she says it loud enough for him to hear. I didn't want to say prostitute in front of the boy, but you did. Like, and she literally says it to Ed O'Neill as the boy is right there, and she says it loud enough for him
Them
to hear
prostitutes were like there, and then they were gone. Like you didn't even see them drive off or anything. Like even for that one girl, I thought it was gonna be something like
They were
she would
fucking
be sad
professionals.
to leave or something.
No,
And she
she's
was
too much
like,
of a
I
dinghy.
finally felt
Yeah.
like I was worth something.
it. No, I was
was
finally starting to feel respectable.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
respectable. Yeah, yeah. I'm starting to feel respectable.
I was like, dang.
She's used to being woken up by drool.
Oh, that was so
Yeah.
gross.
Was gross. Yeah.
Like,
I
I like it
he's
whenever
like-
she
he's
like,
like, you
shot him
fell
in the mouth
asleep.
with the fucking lotion.
Yeah.
He's like-
You fell asleep and I got horny.
Yeah, that's what he said, horny. Yeah.
But he says it like horny. He doesn't even say it at first. He's like,
Should I say this?
At first, whenever he said that, I was like, did he just say horny? Like he just came out with that? Like,
And you know, you'd think those people from the shelter that they gave him a ride and they know that they're homeless.
yeah.
Why wouldn't they invite him in? You know they got enough food and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
That's well. So they were like,
And
well,
he
yeah,
offered him
we're
a job, but like, invite them in. It's Thanksgiving.
if they would have accepted it, that's another thing.
Well, but I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, at least
They could've-
invite them for food.
Yeah, invite them in. That's all I'm saying. Like, they gave you a ride in their shitty car that you know they didn't have gas for it.
yeah. They kind of just like dropped them. Like, so I
And
guess
now
we
you
just
know-
gotta
So
sleep.
see you Monday.
See him. Yeah, I guess we're gonna sleep in our fucking in
Yeah.
our wagon. You
Yeah.
know, like
Because you know they were Hammond, right? And then they
Mhm.
drove them to Chicago. So they're in a homeless shelter. How do they have gas to get that far?
And here's
like-
another thing: like they already slept, you know, like at the homeless shelter with them. Why not invite them in, let them have dinner, and then maybe a place to stay until
Yeah.
they get on their feet.
Yeah, that's
Just
what I'm
saying.
saying. Something. It's something anyway.
They knew the people.
Yeah,
were
I
really
agree.
Nice people.
yeah, invite him in. Well,
Or
maybe
unless he fronted them a hotel.
maybe
or something,
or
but
something
I'm
like
just-
I don't
I don't
know. Maybe
know.
he didn't want to like impose them in on. You know, I'm like I'd invite you in, but you know it's our Thanksgiving. She hasn't got to see her son for so long.
Yeah,
You know
that's
that
true,
kind of
too.
thing. You know, I guess it would be
And
kind of
maybe
intrusive.
maybe he fronted a hotel or something.
Yeah, I think it would be
don't
kind
know.
of intrusive if they did something like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't
I
have
just
much
thought that
more to
was weird.
say about this
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
Though.
what about his glasses? He was wearing glasses in the beginning and didn't wear them for the rest of the movie.
They look like just reading glasses.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some
Yeah,
people have
probably.
reading glasses.
Mm.
Oh, I also like that scene where he was cooking. And,
Oh, yeah.
And then they showed the plate.
Yeah,
And, like
I like
whole
that.
that transition was very.
He like
well
threw him
done.
in the pot, and then like it cuts to the scene of the food.
Yeah, and then
it cuts away, and she's like, "Smells really good." And then it cuts to the restaurant.
Yeah,
Like,
it was the transition was very well done.
I never
'cause
caught that before this time.
Like the transition was very well done because you're sitting there, and you're like, oh wow, that does look really. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Like,
why it
what
was so
happened?
good.
What do you think happened to it?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
I
Maybe
think it tasted really bad because I didn't see any seasonings in there whatsoever. And also, I didn't see any liquid either, so it's possible.
yeah, he's
it
just
burnt.
throwing everything in there. Like, yeah, it looked like I've seen this movie quite a few times, and this time that transition I had never caught on to that until this time. I'm like, yeah, that's funny. Like
Yeah.
I never caught that before.
Yeah, it's really good.
I guess I just wasn't paying really
I had
attention.
to comment on that because I thought I noticed it the last time we watched this like a month ago, and then this time I was just like, I gotta write that down because.
We all good on notes then?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, man, I don't wear glasses all the time either. I mean, the only time I need to use them is when I need to see that.
Needs to see.
What do you
gonna
need
say,
to see?
The
whenever
only
you
time
need
I
to
wear
see.
glasses is when I need to see.
I was gonna
That.
say.
We're driving at night. That's really
Kendra's probably sitting at home like he takes them off as soon as he walks in the door.
He Mr. Magoo's it around the house.
Yeah, Sorry,
Yep.
Kendra. Anyway, let's get into our review of this movie.
Let's review this bitch.
Let's get into our reviews. Let's start with Madison. What do you think of Dutch?
Actually,
I don't care. Let's start with you. Let's go to you last because you've never seen this movie before.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I want to do you last.
We should do her first then.
No, I want to do her
Real.
last because I want her because let's face it, like a lot of the movies that we do are older. We've all seen them.
Yeah.
It's cool to get a younger take on old movies that we love, but like
is that why I'm always?
I wonder,
lost?
yeah, because I wonder if
At
yeah,
least he's honest.
I
Yeah,
got
straight
excited
out.
today. I was like, oh.
No thought about yes.
And then he was like, wait, never mind. I was like, oh. Okay.
Just kidding.
just kidding. Let's start with Eric. Eric, what do you think of
All
Dutch,
right,
man?
So I really enjoyed the movie. I enjoy the homebodiness to it. You know, the wholesomeness. There are kind of some things in there you just like want to beat the shit out of the kid.
Yeah, oh, shit.
But as far as like the comedy and stuff goes, I think the comedy was well into it. Some of the scenes, like you did say, could have been shortened. Like some of the things with the prissiness.
Yeah.
Not really a whole lot I can say bad about the movie. I didn't really see like any flaws within the cinematography with it or anything like that. The score was decent. So I'm going to come in at a 7.5.
Okay.
0.5, not even a 7.5. It's 7.5.
It is half.
Karen,
Very
what do you got
fancy.
on Dutch?
Pretty similar to what Eric
I
said.
know.
I think, for me, probably the biggest downside is,
Kid didn't get his ass whooped enough.
yeah, that's basically it. No, thinking about what you said with the needing to cut down some scenes, yeah, I can give that a fair shake there. I didn't like that Doyle didn't, that Doyle got the upper hand a few times. Didn't like that. I think that
I didn't either.
it sent,
The wrong message.
yeah, it didn't send a cohesive message the whole movie because of
Right.
that.
It was the tone of the movie was kind of back and forth.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
1 minute, you're expecting that, Doyle's always going to be getting his ass handed to him because that's the point. And then something would happen to Dutch that wasn't deserved
Mm-hmm.
because Dutch is, just trying to get the kid home, yet
Teach
this
him a
shit
lesson.
happens to him,
Right.
Anyway, I didn't like that. For me, I'd say that's probably my biggest problem with the movie is that I didn't like that. But that would really be probably the worst thing for me, just those two things, and the second one I didn't really notice until you pointed it out. So just kind of that back and forth message going throughout the whole movie bugs me a little. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna say it's a 7 for me. I watch this movie a lot, and I find it enjoyable every time.
Okay. I think for me, there's a lot to like, and there's some things here that I don't like. The pacing in the movie. You're right. The tone. I don't know if they knew where they wanted a comedy or more of a seriously toned movie. I mean, obviously it's a comedy, obviously, but there's a little more seriousness to the movie than I wanted from a comedy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things and there are a lot of scenes that really just drag the fuck out, and it's kind of annoying, really. Mostly, you're right, to do with Doyle, like in a lot of his stuff. Usually anything with Ed O'Neill seems really well paced. Like, it seems like they knew what they wanted from his character, for the most part anyway. But like with Doyle's characters, like sometimes he has the upper hand, sometimes he don't. It's almost like, I don't know. It's just weird how they wrote his character. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Ethan Embry does a great job in this movie.
Sure, yeah.
So, but I don't know. Other than that, though, it's a great Thanksgiving. It's the best Thanksgiving movie I can think of. I don't know of any better Thanksgiving movie than this. At least when it comes to an actual Thanksgiving movie, like a Thanksgiving holiday movie. If you want to get into horror, horror. What is it?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is that
Steve Martin and Jenny?
I guess it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of in the same vein of this.
It really
I bet,
is.
but that's probably more. That's
But
more of a
it's-
comedy.
It's definitely.
But if
more
you're talking about
comedy.
pacing and all that,
Yeah.
like that one's got a really good. I mean, it's really good.
Yeah.
As far as that. Goes.
But I think for this though, I gotta go 6.5. I'm not. I like the movie, but I don't love the movie.
Mhm.
So it's definitely something I've seen several times, and I do enjoy the movie, but it's nothing I'm ever clamoring to go see. Like, I love Ed O'Neill, I love Ethan Embry, and all that, but it's just, it's a good movie. That's what I'll say.
Okay. I did like
Just 'cause
this.
this huge smile on her face. Is her... Okay.
I did like this movie. I like the humor in it. I like violence humor. So whenever people get threatened, I'm like, that's funny, right? That's mainly what the humor of this movie was.
Yeah.
It is very much.
Yeah. And
He comes through those doors with him. Like, that is the best.
I like after the fact that he knocks Ed O'Neill out, he runs to the bathroom and shuts the door.
I want to
Yeah.
I want to sit back and be like, dude, what kind of man lets a child get the best of him? But this kid is like brutal, dude.
Mhm.
yeah,
This kid is mean. Like, he's just like
Yes.
throws punches, shoots your ass with a BB gun,
totals your car.
totals your car. He's fucking brutal.
I forgot the one scene that I really, really like too is the breakfast scene where he's like, I won't cop to that, but I will cop to this. I can pay for my breakfast.
Yeah.
And you can't.
How's
Yeah.
your water
And then
taste?
he's like, man, nothing burps like bacon.
Yeah, he's like,
Your
nothing
water
burps
looked
better than
tasty,
bacon.
though.
It's like, he's like, your water looked tasty though.
Sorry.
Wait, what did he have?
He said nothing burps like bacon.
Nothing burps better than bacon.
And then he looks at the kid and he says, your water looked tasty though.
He didn't buy him food.
No.
No.
Because he was a dick to him the next day.
Yeah.
The kid was
Oh.
acting like a cocky little dick. So he looked at him and he said, well, I can buy my breakfast. Can you?
Yeah.
I would have got him like a plain.
I would have got him nothing.
God.
I like
Patty.
exactly
Yeah,
how
but
he
you can't
did
let
it.
him
Exactly what he
starve
did.
to death.
He won't let him starve. He's
Missing
asserting his
out
Missing
dominance.
one meal.
Yeah,
He's
he missed
asserting
out
his
one meal.
dominance.
Did they eat breakfast or dinner?
He ate breakfast. I don't know about Ethan.
Ethan Hawke might have got lunch.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke.
Or Ethan
Hawke, yeah. Ethan Hawke.
He might have got breakfast. I don't know.
So
I
Ethan
didn't
Hawke
see
looks
him
like
that
he's
day.
missed a few breakfasts.
Oh, at least
Yeah.
got him like coffee. No, not coffee. Like a patty. You can order plain patties. Like
Yeah.
plain
Nah.
sausage patties.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, he
fuck
gets
that.
nothing.
He gets shit.
Gets
He got
nothing.
water.
Kid's gonna have a health defect.
No, he's hydrated. That's all he
Yeah,
needs.
that's all he needed.
It's good.
I know you guys. I'm
You can
joking.
go
Calm
without
down.
one meal
Mhm.
at the very least.
Yeah, at the very
maybe
least.
2, maybe 3. I don't know yet. Just depends on how
Maybe
he acts.
6. Maybe 9. Maybe 4 days.
No, I'll give him a protein bar.
Eh.
All
I
right,
don't know.
continue
Anyways, I don't know what I was saying. What was I talking about?
the movie.
You're rating.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm pleased that you guys.
That you really like the humor.
I do like the humor. It was really good humor.
It's your kind of humor.
'Cause it's violent.
Kind of humor. I know.
I was
That's-
listening.
I
Thank
was
you,
too.
Karen. I
What?
appreciate it. No
I
one
was
else around
too.
here listens to me.
Oh,
Well,
just
hey,
give us
what
your
No, they
review.
just
were we
overtalk.
talking about?
Oh my
Well,
god, these fucking kids! Nobody listen to me. Yeah. Just give us your fucking review.
I'm a little lost.
Anyways, Karen, I really like this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know what else to say about it. I like holiday movies. Only on holidays though. So that I've never seen a Thanksgiving movie before, I don't
You
think.
should watch
There's
Planes,
not-
Trains, and
There's
Automobiles,
not a
too.
lot of Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Like, you get a lot of Halloween, a lot of Christmas, but never very many good Thanksgiving movies. Like, I'm sure there are more out there that we don't know about.
Turkey Day don't get much.
Yeah, they don't do a lot with Thanksgiving. And if they do, it's just something that evolves, like, it doesn't evolve around Thanksgiving. It just happens around Thanksgiving.
I mean,
You know what I
can
mean?
always do what was it, Adam's Family? Was it Reunion or the first?
Oh,
one?
Adam's Family too.
Yeah.
Was that around Thanksgiving?
No,
No,
they have
that was during the
they
summer.
have
They did
the
that.
play in there. That's
Oh,
what they
yeah.
said.
That was
Eat
Adam's
me!
Family Values. That was during the summer.
Yeah, that was during summer camp.
It's still. I mean, it's a Thanksgiving play.
Yeah, why
Remember
did
when
they
the
do
dad's standing there
Thanksgiving
with the
play in the
cigar?
Because it was about the
fresh air.
pilgrims and all that stuff. I don't know, man. It was weird.
Did the Thanksgiving play in the middle of summer?
It was
like-
Gary Granger's vision.
I guess so. Whatever floats his boat, I guess.
Indians come
Or
out
catches
for
it on fire, I should say.
When he comes in there and he's like, "What are you in for?" I just wanted to read. The guy reaches through. He's like, "Not on my time, Four Eyes."
But yeah, I did like this movie, and I think I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay, 7 even.
Barbie Playhouse was the.
Oh, that was the
timeout zone.
overall thing.
Yep, 7 even.
All right.
Okay.
Barbie Playhouse was the timeout zone.
The Hug Hutch or something.
Yeah,
like that.
that's what.
What's
it was.
everybody's critic score?
Critics? I'm gonna go with
45.
63.
Whoa. 70.
Karen's gonna take this actually 17%.
Whoa.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's probably the lowest
Ah.
critic score that we've seen.
Yep, it is not good on critics. That's weird.
That's kind of.
That's out of 24 reviews. All right,
Fuck the
audience
critics.
There's only been 24 reviews?
from critics. Yeah,
How many are there
Audience?
usually?
not many. There's never like 100.
Oh.
I'm gonna go 51 for audience.
I think 62.
I said 60.
60,
Oh, you did.
62.
Sorry.
51.
Madison can take this. It is a 63%. That was really close.
Wow.
Really close. Let's see here. Let's get
I'm
some.
cheating.
Man,
Just gonna
I
copy
can't
it
believe
now.
how much people hate this movie. Like, I can't. That's weird.
So much hate.
Yeah, that is weird though.
So in
I
this
don't
case, you need to
understand
find
it.
a good review.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. 1 star. Steve. Even O'Neill couldn't save this mess.
But why though?
Okay.
I don't know. That's all they said. 1 star. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Except nothing funny happens, and you hate everyone. Okay.
I mean, no.
Which one came out first?
I think planes, trains, and automobiles.
Trains. Automobile,
this
pretty
was
sure.
like 1981, I think.
This is 91. I think
That's what-
planes, trains, and automobiles was
It is
like
in the
late
80s.
80s.
I will find out.
1 star. Should have been a 30-minute short because that's all the interest in this film lasts. Okay. Well, no reasons as to why you
87.
don't like it.
87.
There's a 2 star. Not a bad movie, but not Hugh's best. You know where this buddy film is going, but seem to enjoy the ride. Yeah, that's how movies work. Movies are fairly predictable for the most part. 1/2 star. Yeah, this movie was a real sleeper. Unfortunately, I stayed awake and watched it.
Oh.
I'll know tomorrow morning what a mistake that was. Sorry, this one was
That's
a
really
dud.
fucked
Damn,
up,
dude,
huh?
this one was a real sleeper. I'm sorry I stayed awake for it. Yeah.
Jesus.
Fuck, dude.
Oh.
1 star. I usually don't hate stories like this, but the kid played a spoiled brat so well that I couldn't enjoy it. Damn.
I mean, he's got a point there.
yeah, I mean, shouldn't you praise the movie for that reason? Like,
Right?
1/2 star. Yeah, this movie was a real sleeper. I just read that one. I guess I liked it so much.
You liked that review so well, you had to read
Yeah.
it twice.
What was his name?
I don't know. Star and a half. This one was quite funny. Okay. That's all you had to say.
I don't think the stars work the way you think the
Yeah,
stars
they
work,
do
my
either.
friend.
So the gray
He's
ones are
saying
like
the
what I
Super
said it
Mario.
is,
Yeah,
right?
the gray ones are the ones that I think it is, right?
Star and a half. One of the low points in the career of John Hughes. I'll give you one more. I can find one. 1 star. This was one of the many horrible, depressing, and really nasty movies masquerading as comedies that plagued my childhood.
Oh.
Damn, dude.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
For
like,
one.
you want to see a therapist, maybe?
He does. That's part of the problem. Now he's finding out why he's so
Yeah.
mad.
I'm angry all the time, and I blame it on Ed O'Neill.
He's angry all the time because of all of the movies of his childhood
yeah.
that were supposed to be comedies and weren't.
Man, that sucks, dude.
That's a terrible
Get a
reason to
life,
be angry,
maybe.
dude.
All right, let's get into Karen's trivia.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
I have 4. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Four things. That's
4
it.
things. That's
Wow. Okay.
it. John Candy was the first choice to play Dutch Dooley. Also considered were Tim Allen, Tom Hanks, Jim Belushi, Robin Williams.
Slow down. Okay, so Tim Allen. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Who else?
Tom Hanks.
Nah. Well, maybe.
Mm-mm. I can't see him being that mean.
Oh, I could. I could. He plays mean pretty well.
Not then. Like, not then, who we knew him then.
Yeah. Remember him in what was that movie with him and a dog? Him and the dog.
Oh, Turner
Turner and Hooch. Yeah. And then who was the next one? Jim Belushi?
Belushi.
I could see that too. Yeah.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. You think?
Yeah. John Goodman.
Well, at the time he was doing Roseanne.
Yeah, but I don't think he.
Well, he
for
already
this.
had that blue collar sort of. You know what I mean? I could
but
see it, but
the physicality and all that, I
Yeah.
don't see it.
maybe
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
No, I don't see it either. Mel Gibson. And that's it.
Mel Gibson. Yeah, maybe. But back then he didn't do comedy.
He did Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that comedy
yeah,
though.
comedy action, I guess, but like, yeah.
That was just crazy. He was being crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad Ed O'Neill got it though. That's good.
The surname of Doyle and his family is Standish. This name was also used in another John Hughes film, The Breakfast Club, for Molly Ringwald's character Claire. Doyle uses martial arts on Dutch in the movie, although in real life, at the time of filming, Ed O'Neill had been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. O'Neill received his black belt from the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy in 2007.
Yep.
There are similarities between the Dutch Dooley character and that of Al Bundy from Married with Children, in which the writer-producer John Hughes felt that Ed O'Neill was the right choice for the role. Both are strong-willed characters, both put up with bratty, annoying children, and go through some type of accident or incident that causes them physical or mental anguish. And that's it.
Yeah. Okay. There wasn't a lot, was there?
There wasn't.
I feel like there's more out there. You know what I mean?
I mean, there was
Some movies just don't get a huge following where you pick up a lot of trivia and things from it, but whatever.
Well, the only other thing that maybe of note was there was something about him and John Hughes were in contact all the time during the filming of this movie, him and Ed O'Neill. And then after the movie flopped, him and John Hughes never talked to him again.
Really?
Yeah, because they were in talks to do more movies together or whatever, and then after the movie flopped, he never talked to him again.
I don't think that Ed O'Neill should be. I don't think he's at all the reason why this movie would have flopped.
Oh no.
Because he's funny. I mean, he's great. He does great physical humor, and I think he's witty too. I think he's very quippy whenever it comes to certain things. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, look at Married with Children. I mean,
not very many times you could actually blame an actor for a movie flopping. You got to blame
Sometimes you can, but not
directors.
But that's
and
bad
producers.
casting.
bad casting or bad writing is what it
Yeah.
usually comes down to.
Yeah.
And in this case, I don't think that it had anything to do with anything other than
The direction of the movie.
maybe the tone of the movie, really. Like, and
Yeah,
so,
I,
like,
I would say the back and forth thing. Like
the back
that
and
whole-
forth where
I-
it didn't
I
know
don't-
where it wanted to
because
stand.
I didn't understand that. I don't get that.
Yeah,
But I don't hate the movie for it. I
No.
think it's fine.
yeah.
I
don't-
can get past it totally because I think there's a lot more a lot.
Well, you saw the
more
difference
good-
between the critic score and the audience score, where you know that at this point the movie has more of a cult following.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of movies do that over
Mhm.
time. You know, over time movies will gain more of a following the older they get.
I feel like the good message of that movie very much outweighs that weird back and forth
Mhm.
pace.
Yeah.
You know, because in the end, you see a lot of growth development out of that kid. I just think that that's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that kid.
Yeah. Fuck that kid.
Fuck these kids.
Anyway, that's the movie this week.
Yep.
What are we gonna do next week?
That one. That one. You said
Oh,
we
look,
would.
I got one.
Well, hold
Evil
on.
Dead.
Is it Evil Dead or is it The Evil Dead?
It's the first one.
It's the first Evil Dead.
You brought
with
this
Bruce
up last
Campbell.
week, man.
The very,
know.
very first one. The
The-
one that was supposed to be serious, but everybody laughed at. So they made a second one that was
So-
just the same thing, only it was funny.
Oh, it's
The
funny.
Evil
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh either way,
Yeah, you're gonna laugh. It's not supposed to be a comedy, but
but it is funny.
It's funny.
It's pretty comical.
Yeah.
Swallow your soul.
I think I'm gonna go ahead. I don't actually think I own the Evil Dead movies, which is
Wanted to
weird
swallow
for me.
something.
You don't have
Really?
Evil
I
Dead?
don't think so. So I think I'm just gonna buy them all. I think I'm
You
gonna
should.
buy every one of them.
I'm
Even
pretty sure
I'm
you
gonna
got
buy all three of the originals, and I'm gonna buy I already own the remake, and then I'm gonna go ahead and buy that new one that just came out too.
Anything.
Other than that, I don't think that there's. That's it. Yeah. I don't. I mean, I don't own Ash versus Evil Dead, but
I like that show.
I liked it too. You know what? What Bruce Campbell blamed it all on for getting canceled? Pirating.
What was it?
Pirating.
You.
Streaming
pirate
on
movies.
AMC Plus.
He rents them.
I rent them. I have a subscription.
So it's streaming on AMC
No,
Plus. You can rent
okay.
it from Amazon, Vudu, or
Let's see what's
DirecTV.
going on here.
You can't. It's not streaming on anything.
Just AMC Plus.
I don't have that shit.
I don't either.
I'm gonna buy it, so it doesn't matter.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure they
we
got
own it.
box sets.
I know we own
I
it.
know you own
But
it.
yeah.
I don't think. I don't know if. I don't think I do.
You at least. Have
I
it on
need
DVD.
to have our list on my phone so I know what we have because I have no idea what we have, but I'm about 99.99999% sure we have
I'm
it.
sure you have it.
Jeremiah has
I know
a
you used to
library
have
of
it
all
on-
of our movies on his phone.
You
Oh,
used to have it
I
on
don't have it.
VHS, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm?
I said you
Hold on,
used
there's
to have
a
it on VHS. I
Blu-ray
yeah,
collection.
Yeah, but I think he's got the Blu-rays now.
There's a ruler on this book. Look.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my god.
I didn't know that. It only goes up to 9 inches.
Here's Evil Dead 1 and 2 collection 4K.
Someone consider that blessed.
I don't want.
mean, no complaint.
I want all three of them in one collection. Oh wait, Evil Dead Groovy collection. What?
Ruby.
I love the sound of that. What is
Evil Dead
this?
statue.
It's $70 and it is. Where the fuck is the description? Amazon, you're dropping the ball, dude. Says Evil Dead Groovy Collection. Hold on. So it's Evil Dead 2, Ash versus Evil Dead. What? Where's Army of Darkness?
That's where they get you.
Where is Army of Darkness? No, Army of Darkness needs to be in there too.
Yeah.
That's where they get you.
You motherfuckers.
I'm good at
I mean, it's worth buying, but I still want Army of Darkness.
I'm badass. You're good ass.
Klaatu.
Rata.
Nickel. Nickel. Necktie.
See, you like the shitty part is like the first one's okay, but they get great in like
They
in
get so
Evil
much
Dead
better as
2
it goes on.
and Army of Darkness are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Those
Yep.
movies are amazing.
Army of Darkness was always my favorite. It's so fucking funny.
All right. So anyway, next week we're gonna do the first Evil Dead from 1980. No, it's 1978.
78.
79?
Man, I'm terrible with the dates.
Something like that.
I really am.
1981.
80.
Is it 81? Okay, so 81.
Yeah, 81. That's what I said.
5 vacationing college students unwittingly resurrect demonic spirits through the Book of the Dead. Now there is no escape. The guilty must be punished.
Necronomicon. I swallow your soul.
God damn it.
Dead by Dawn. Dead by Dawn.
Dead by Dawn.
Fucking deer got me when it said that. The deer on the wall.
Necronomicon.
Turns his head and says, "Dead by dawn." Oh fuck.
Or he starts laughing at T. Deer. Or starts
Yeah.
laughing. Shit's hilarious, dude. And then he starts laughing too.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, next week, Evil Dead. Don't forget to check out the social stuff down there,
It's
and go check out Evil Dead wherever. Buy it, rent it, whatever you want to do. It's not there anymore.
It's gone.
You could have kept it there so I didn't look like an idiot, though.
That-
Sorry, not
that
could
makes
have.
it so much
Can.
the whole time.
You
See, that's the great
can
thing about
keep it
being the
there.
editor is I do all this stuff, so I
He's
can do
gonna
whatever I
wait-
want.
He's going to do it right before you put your.
Now I'm gonna plaster it right on her forehead.
No.
All right, next week, Evil Dead. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
You too.
Thanksgiving.
Eat a bunch
Yeah.
of turkey or
Yeah.
ham or whatever it is you prefer.
Do.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids be brats.
tofu.
Yeah.
Or do and see what happens.
No, just make them eat as
Wait
much
till someone else
turkey as
smacks
possible
them.
because I hear it helps you
It's
fall
a
asleep. It's
chemical
got that chemical in
it's
it
got
with
a
that
chemical in it
makes
that
you
makes you tired.
tired.
Turkey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
really.
wonder I don't like it. It's a drug.
It's a drug. It's a
It's a
sleepy time
natural
drug. Yeah.
drug.
It's a sleepy
so
time
is
drug.
marijuana. I'm
They got
still not
lots
allowed to
of
have that.
melatonin.
Dad, I had a dream last night that I smoked weed and you didn't catch me.
And then Joseph said, he's like, that better not become a reality.
I did. I meant to tell you this
For all of you
morning.
that don't know, they just legalized marijuana in Ohio as a recreational drug. So here we go. As of December 7th, everybody will be
Have fun
smoking
with
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all have fun with it. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. Anyway, till next week.
Bye.
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 Okay, bye.